What a season! Looks like restricting Sam to only 7 starts did wonders for the competition. But that's not to say I don't like the guy. We had 10 different winners, 13 if you include the exhibition races. And this season is bound to be an amazing sequel. So let's gander our eyes on all 12 teams competing in Napa Racing's 11th season. Toyota Gazoo Racing. That was the fastest turnaround in recent memory. In just their second year, Toyota Gazoo went from having to rotate between drivers for one of their cars to dominating the championship. This team went from field filler to title favorites really fast. And there's no reason that can't specifically continue with Sonic. After the heartbreak of coming up short to his teammate, he now enters what is most likely his final season in Napa. Which frankly sucks because even after a multitude of championship runs and wins, as well as the competition changing in each era, he's still as stout as ever. There was also great promise from his teammate Bella, who in just her second season beat the regular season champion to get the first of the 4 championship spots. She would have also won Talladega if not for that same driver taking her out. But then you have these two. Now, don't get me wrong, they're both nice guys to talk to off the track. But on it, they tend to be Blaze. That's not to say they don't have promise though. Colt Bug led several laps at Kansas. And Boombox won the first Daytona duel. If they could just have more weekends like those, then fighting for a playoff spot might be in the cards. Provided the latter doesn't turn into Kyle Busch again. Sakura Racing. Its similar sentiment goes to Sakura Racing. Built off the remains what M5 Curie left behind, Titanium carries his number and manufacturer into a new team for his second championship defense. They've also hired Chris, who put up a decent challenge for the playoffs. And they also have their team owner Autumn Racing part-time and bring back the iconic number 18 that they won the season for championship in. If you ask anybody, this is probably the most formidable lineup heading into the season. Both have the potential and the platform. And Monster Man over here proved he's still got some piss and vinegar in them veins. There's a lot of greatness to be shown from this racing team. Now they just need to execute. Greatness Racing. Speaking of Greatness Racing, welcome back to Napa. Boy, did we sure miss you in the one season you didn't participate. Sure, you may have gone out on a sour note and fumbled an all-star lineup you could have had the season prior. And sure, your tenure as Kenyatta Motor Club was as impressive as the Patriots making the Super Bowl this year. But who cares? Surely your driver with 0 championship for appearances and only 2 entries in the round of 8 across the past 3 seasons can be your saving grace. Never mind the fact that his last Super Speedweek win was over 3 seasons ago, and that one Daytona 500 required a wreck for him to have a shot. This team can make a comeback. They're gonna make headlines. I think I need to work on my sarcasm. Ryan Carruth Motorsports. It was a rough year for our CM. They went from easy playoff contenders, championship contenders even, to having a write-off season where one of their drivers, who mind you almost took what would have been the most undeserved championship in Napa, bailed on them mid-season. Hopefully. The bad days look to be over now. Bivens had solid showings whenever he showed up. So to make solid improvements, that's all he needs to do, just show up more often. Then there's Odd, who's coming back after a 2-season sabbatical. Then you've got the 2 part-timers. DHB, who's just happy to be on a team. And the 2-time Cup champion Sam ending his tenure with Shake and Bake and joining our CM. I hope the best for this team, Shake and Bake Motorsports. Let me preface this by saying none of these 5 drivers are bad. In fact, all of them have the proven pace to make the round of 8. But out of all of them, I'd say only ZOL is a halfway decent shot at making it further than that. And he didn't even make the posters on last time out. The only person that did out of this lineup is Iron Wolf, who had as good of a shot as the other 4 underdogs, but threw it all away with a stinker at Kansas. Landon's the only one of them that won a race last season, and it was perfect at a time when his team was closing down. And just like Bivens, I would want to see more activity from Grimmy and Silly before reconsidering them as true contenders. It feels really weird to say that the most perennial favorites in the league are in for a down year, but for the first time I can't see it going any higher. Though they can take consolation in the fact they didn't have the worst off-track collapse this time around. Nora Racing. That distinction belongs to Nora Racing. After all 3 of their drivers found their own slices of success in Season 10, 2 of them have abandoned ship, and the other is back at square one needing to win another drafting track to have any shot. Joining him will be a rookie Anoof, who had some forgettable appearances so far, and Napa's equivalent of Ricky Stenhouse Jr. Minus the dumbass Airy, and Day Striker is back to full-time racing after stepping into the booth for a season. Oh yeah, and the GOAT Sport is back, whoopee! JRF Racing Club. It was an okay season by JRF, but it could have been a lot better. Fabi's sole win for the team at Talladega and Twinkie's unwavering consistency were solid in their own right. But I'm pretty sure everyone at the club needed a fresh start. Especially Fusion. Ugh, and I thought Brad Keselowski fell off badly. And just like Bivens, these two need to show up more. Same goes for Noru, but I do have high hopes for this team. Valera Motorsports. I'm getting sick and tired of saying show up more and then you're a contender for drivers on this list. But unfortunately our B12 also falls into that category. And on the other side of the garage, Blade exits a lengthy tenure with SNB. But I do not have high hopes. I was really happy when he won the Brickyard 400. But the past 3 seasons have been a rinse and repeat, where he underperforms the entire regular season, yet miraculously pulls a win out of his ass, and proceeds to get eliminated in the first round. Laugh at me all you want for saying it. But if he doesn't improve, at some point he's gonna become old news. Prove me wrong, Blade. There are a couple teams I can write lengthy sections about, so I'll quickly shout them out. Roush Fenway, who have a mid-lineup, Sonic Speeds, with a all-rookie roster, Knight Motorsports, who appeared out of nowhere, and MB Racing, who are just happy to be here. There you have it, a quick rundown on all 36 cars this year. But 36 is soon gonna become 12. So who are those 12 gonna be? My playoff predictions. Let's start with getting the easy Toyota picks out of the way. Titanium, Sonic and Tim. Next, I should think that out of all the Fords, only Sport will make the playoffs thanks to his Daytona 500 win. What about the Chevys, you may ask? Well, I'm also expecting a win out of Silly as well as Landon and COL at a banked track, and for my final 5 spots, I'll throw in Boom winning at a drafting track. Jalen will win one of the 2 road course races. Iron Wolf will finally get his first career win in intermediate. This may surprise some, but I think Day Striker will win on a drafting track, leaving 1 spot open going into Daytona. I think Reimai will rise through the chaos and win his way in. Some notable exclusions are the Season 3 champion and Blade. But again, I hope I'm wrong. And I also don't see Fabi being able to make it either. Also Fusion, you can use quotes all you want, but buddy, that doesn't do crap to make the postseason. Well, that's my playoff picture prediction. Now let's predict every round. Let's get the easy ones out of the way. Day Striker and Boom. This may surprise some, but I think Iron and Land and will be out by the closest amount in the first round. Now for the round of 8, I am Jalen, Griamai, COL, and Silly out. That makes my championship for Titanium, Sonic, Tim, and Sport. Since the championship race is at Texas this season, I think Sonic will finish the worst. Then Tim, leaving Sport or Titanium is my pick. If you look at the stats, they both have the same average finish, so this doesn't help me out that much. But I am going to pick Titanium to win the title and go back to back winning his 3rd title. Well, that's the Hater's Guide. Thanks for watching.